The next thing to balance in your shot is what I like to refer to as a clean composition. You want your subject to clearly stand out and be the focus of your image, while reducing distractions whenever possible. Now, you can take this in several different directions depending on your need, but again, begin by thinking about how you intend to use the image before you take the picture, and make sure that the image supports your story and doesn't distract from it. Let's start by looking at the first two pictures that we just took in the last movie. Ask yourself, what catches your eye first, and then what draws your eye? For these images, the first thing that caught your eye was probably the fact that the moai is leaning. That lean, combined with the horizon, has likely led your eye to the top of the head in this shot and the eyes in this shot. Both are minor things, but the viewer has gone from focusing on the whole object to having their eye pulled away to notice something else. Therefore, when you're taking your pictures, take a couple of pictures and stop and look at them on your camera or on your phone and ask yourself what is going to draw the eye of your viewer away from your subject. Then recompose your shot and take another picture. Try to clean those distractions up in your camera. Now, another type of distraction that you may notice is a cluttered background. In this first shot, you may be wondering what the subject of the picture is because there's so many things going on. If that's what you need to show, then that's fine. But if you intend for your viewer to focus on only one object, then think of a way to clean up the background to provide some nice separation of that object from the rest of the background. There are a couple of ways to approach this cleanup. One is to simply take a minute and physically remove the clutter if possible. Another may be to adjust the depth of field by adjusting your aperture or perhaps using the portrait mode of your phone to cause the background to blur out. Another option may be to simply hold the subject up and shoot it against the sky like this plant image. If you're indoors, you could use a piece of foam core or use a solid wall to create a nice clean look. Now, there are ways to create all of these changes inside of Photoshop, but it's often far faster and easier to make a few quick changes in your camera to get your images closer to what you need before you press that shutter button and decide to deal with these problems later. When you're taking your pictures for using in teaching and learning materials, always try to reduce distractions by taking the cleanest picture that you can that will focus your viewer's attention on the subject in a way that will support your story.